This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
South today, boggy and uneven ground making for challenging conditions for firefighters near Bluff. Vaccine passes and scanning no longer required, but no changes to the traffic light system across the country. And the Southern District Health Board says it doesn't believe the region has yet hit peak COVID. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Dave Gooselink. Boggy and uneven ground is making for challenging conditions for Southland firefighters as they continue to attack a scrub fire near Bluff. The large fire started late on Saturday afternoon in significant Department of Conservation wetlands in Awarua. Multiple fire crews and appliances from as far as Dunedin and Glenorchy continue to battle the 1,000 hectare scrub blaze, assisted by 9 helicopters with monsoon buckets. The helicopters began attacking the fire's main front yesterday as soon as there was enough light to safely fly in a sky thick with smoke. Crews were back first thing this morning. Incident Controller Mark Mawini says ash pits where the fire had burnt underground were also making it difficult for firefighters to move around the peat bog. A low water table from the drought had allowed the fire to burn deep into the peat, making it a lot more difficult to extinguish. Firefighters were called to an early morning blaze at an Indian restaurant in central Dunedin. Fire and Emergency New Zealand received reports of black smoke coming from the building just after 3 a.m. Crews arrived about 20 minutes later, forced entry to the Taj Mahal restaurant. Firefighters using breathing apparatus inside extinguished a small fire quickly and say the quick thinking of 2 upstairs residents helped prevent more major damage. The government has announced there'll be no change to the Southern region's COVID-19 framework, known as the traffic light system, with the country remaining in red. There was some speculation that Auckland and the North could drop back to the orange setting, as the Ministry of Health believes those regions have passed peak COVID.
An eagerly awaited update, but Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announcing at this afternoon's post-cabinet briefing there'll be no change in the traffic light setting at this stage.
Public health advice tells us now is not yet the time to ease the existing restrictions and drop down to orange. We're doing well, but we're still in a large Omicron outbreak in New Zealand. And while we're moving in the right direction, we're not out of the woods yet.
Her thoughts were echoed by the head of the Southern DHB's COVID response, Dr Huel Lloyd, who doesn't believe the South is ready for restrictions to lift.
I don't think we're ready for orange yet down here. I think we do need to wait a bit longer. You know, we talked earlier on about trends and dropping numbers. Look, let's just hope they don't bounce back. We're expecting our numbers to bounce back tomorrow and the next day, because that's the pattern that we see. We see less numbers at the weekend, so we will see a little bit of a bounce back. But I'd like to see us continually trending down before we reduce down our traffic light system.
However, some restrictions are lifting tonight. From Tuesday morning, it'll no longer be necessary to present a vaccine pass or to scan into locations, although individual organisations can still ask people to show their passes or scan in. Ardern understands many people may be disappointed, especially in Auckland, but says hospitals are still at or near capacity across the country.
I know there is an eagerness to move to orange, but we are still frankly amid an outbreak and there is still pressure across our hospital network.
The next reassessment and announcement by the government around traffic light settings is set for mid-April, just before Easter. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A search is underway in remote Fiordland bush to locate a father and son missing near Lake Hauroko. Police say a 49-year-old man and his 14-year-old son were reported overdue by fellow hunters on Sunday afternoon after they failed to return from a hunt. The pair travelled to the location together and police were concerned for their welfare. It's believed they were inexperienced and ill-equipped for a night out in the bush. More than 30 people are taking part in the operation, with more searchers from Queenstown and Dunedin travelling south to assist. A ground search was carried out yesterday by police search and rescue teams, along with an aerial search using thermal and night vision technology. The Southern District Health Board says it doesn't believe the region has yet hit peak COVID. Harold Lloyd heads the DHB's pandemic response and says they're expecting numbers to rise again this week. However, he is pleased with how the Southern teams handled their response to the Omicron outbreak.
COVID-19 infection numbers have dropped in the Southern DHB region in recent days. However, the man leading the area's COVID response says infection and hospitalisation rates could still rise.
For the secondary care system, that's the hospital system where we have to admit cases, that peak doesn't happen until about a week, 10 days after the case numbers peak. So we're still expecting in the hospital situation for our case numbers to continue to increase the rest of this week. And we could probably speculate on the day when that might turn, but it's probably going to be the end of this week, over next weekend. We should probably see some easing in some of the admissions to our wards and hospitals.
Dr Lloyd admits the number of people infected with COVID-19 in the southern region exceeded modelling predictions, but says hospitals here have coped with the pressure. He believes the high number of vaccinated people has greatly reduced the impact of the virus in Otago and Southland, with fewer hospital admissions.
Our vaccination rates being so high, and we had really good coverage.
While Omicron is currently the major focus in New Zealand, there are other COVID-19 variants circling the globe as many countries lift restrictions. The UK is experiencing an increasing number of cases of the BA2 variant and what's been dubbed Deltacron, where people are infected with a combination of two variants. Dr Lloyd believes once you've had a particular strain of COVID, it's unlikely you'll get it again.
Fortunately, the majority of cases here are the BA2. So hopefully we won't see a significant spike as we're seeing in the UK and other overseas countries.
However, as viruses survive by mutating, he says there will always be new variants developing. He maintains being vaccinated greatly reduces the risk of serious illness, with scientists racing to develop remodelled vaccines to tackle the new strains. In Dunedin, the South Today.
E whaia ake nei, still to come on the South Today. Two impressive Central Otago properties win big at the Home of the Year Awards, and a record number of motorbike riders turn out in support of a North Otago school.
Passion,
drama, competition,
rivalry,
marketing,
numbers, atmosphere,
power, fight,
attack,
intuition,
love,
hate, money,
cash, millionaires, fans, and fans.
Oh boy.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Hi there, guess who? You recognise the eyes? Oh, okay, it's a haircut. Anyway, it's Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Our 3 stores are carrying on as usual. Despite what's happening in the world, we have got some great stock for you. Personally, I've spent 50 years in this business and we have some excellent supplier relationships. We've got great stock, it's hand-picked, it's here, it's on time, and it's ready for this great summer.
Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
So, as my favourite cup says, keep calm and carry on.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Spark your joy with Jazz, the next generation from Honda.
Hi, we're H Concerno Otago.
H Concerno Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including little bobs.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
A celebrity has just arrived. His name is Sirocco, and he's an important member of the government. The ambassador is chauffeur-driven. It's a 60-minute drive to his 5-star high-security accommodation, where he can finally drop his guard. Meet His Excellency. Not human, but parrot.
Welcome back. A pile-up involving a truck and 2 cars held up traffic in Dunedin this morning. Fire and Emergency New Zealand says a crew from Port Chalmers station attended a crash near Sawyers Bay just after 8 a.m. Witnesses saw a truck carrying a container which appeared to have rear-ended a car, which then hit another car. The incident caused significant traffic disruption for about half an hour, with major roadworks currently being undertaken on State Highway 88. There appeared to be only minor injuries as a result of the crash. A Central Otago dental practice is pitching in to help pay for Wakatipu's new arts hub. For the next week, Queenstown's Fine Orthodontics is donating the fees it charges for short assessment appointments to the community arts facility.
Due for completion in May, the fundraising to pay for Queenstown's new arts hub is about to receive a much-needed funding boost from neighbouring business Fine Orthodontics. For all of this week, the fees charged for short assessment appointments at the dental lab will go to the new arts hub. 3/4 of the almost $4 million price tag for the arts venue has already been raised.
We're on the final $1 million and to deliver this wonderful community facility in early May, and this generous gift from Fine Orthodontics is just really humbling and a wonderful welcome to the neighbourhood.
Called Te Atamira, the Arts Hub has already received extensive support from both community trusts and local residents.
At this stage we would love to say to the community it's really time to dig deep. We've come a long way and hundreds of people have been behind this project.
The facility will cater to more than 40 local arts groups, and it will feature several arts, dance and music studios, theatre spaces and a curated gallery. In Queenstown, the South Today.
2 homes in the Central Lakes area have won awards in a prestigious architectural competition. It's run by Home magazine, with the top prize this year going to a holiday home in Arrowtown.
Home magazine has revealed its annual Home of the Year awards, giving top honours to 2 newly built houses in the Wakatipu region. Terrace Edge House in Arrowtown, designed by Anna Marie Chin Architects, was named the overall winner and 2022 Home of the Year. It's been built as a holiday house with different wings of the home linked by glazed hallways.
So you do get a sense of change, so there's kind of shelter in the gables and then more light coming in through the hallways where you walk through. So you actually get a sense that you can go into each sort of pavilion, I suppose, or gable building and actually be in a different space.
Chin says she chose concrete, steel and glass for construction of her fresh interpretation of a rural home.
The materials we've selected are quite robust, raw materials, such as the concrete. We want the solidity. Instead of using stone, we've used steel as finer edge detailing, so you get the contrast.
Another Central Otago winner was Black House, set on a steep site above the Shotover River. Designed by its owner Stacey Farrell, it won the Green Home of the Year category. The house is designed to look like a series of tumbling boulders.
The site is in a landslide zone and the form of the building is about rocks sliding down the hillside and breaking apart, so the angles of the roof are reflecting that.
The Home Magazine Awards are now in their 27th year, with Anna Marie Chin Architects winning the top prize of $10,000 for their creativity. In Wakatipu, the South Today.
There was a near record turnout near Oamaru over the weekend for the Five Forks Foothills Trail Ride. Motorbike riders of all ages and abilities got to test their skills on a range of off-road trails in what was a special fundraiser for the local school.
The annual Five Forks Foothills Trail Ride was held this weekend inland from Oamaru. Originally scheduled for early March, gathering restrictions resulted in it being postponed until now. The North Otago Trail Ride hit record numbers, with 430 riders on Saturday and another 180 riders on Sunday as well. Organisers say they're thrilled with the turnout. In addition to the North Otago locals, other riders travelled from Southland, Central Otago, Christchurch, Ashburton and Dunedin to test the tracks covering 45 kilometres, with courses ranging from Pee-wee to advanced. The event is a fundraiser for Five Forks School, with school staff helping with the administration while landowners helped marshal the course. Near Oamaru, the South Today.
Fire RKNA still to come on the South Today. Motocross star Courtney Duncan's tough season continues, and the country's top golf players return to competition at an impressive new course in Arrowtown.
Every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hake hake MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
If you're at risk of developing melanoma skin cancer, you owe it to yourself to have a mole map. Mole map is coming to your area. Phone today to make an appointment. It could save your life.
Living Well Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Welcome back. It's been a rough start to the season for Otago motocross rider Courtney Duncan. The three-time women's motocross world champion suffered a heavy fall from her Kawasaki bike over the weekend during a practice session in Portugal. X-rays were taken following the big crash, which revealed a break in her collarbone. Duncan wasn't allowed to line up for the weekend's racing due to the injury. She's due to meet with a surgeon this week to decide her next move, with 6 weeks until the third round of the WMX in Sardinia. The Millbrook Classic Golf Tournament was held over the weekend in Arrowtown with a lineup of professional and amateur players trying out the new Coronet course. Sunny weather and a stunning scenic backdrop made for a good return to competition for the 28-strong field.
In full swing at Millbrook Resort. The sun was shining on Arrowtown over the weekend as the region hosted the long-awaited Millbrook Pro-Am Golf Classic. Just getting back out on the course has been a relief for many players, with the New Zealand Open cancelled due to COVID restrictions. Professional Ryan Fox has been fortunate enough to keep his calendar fairly busy after representing New Zealand last year at the Tokyo Olympics. But he admits that hasn't been the same story for everyone.
I mean, I've been lucky enough compared to a lot of the New Zealand pros. I've been able to travel. I've had a tour card overseas, so I've played a relatively full schedule. And, you know, some good prize money for some New Zealand pros that have had a pretty tough couple of years.
Both rounds were played on the newly opened 18-hole Coronet course at the Millbrook Resort, with a prize purse of $150,000. For Queenstown local James Anstis, it's a familiar location. The professional has been pretty starved of major competitive golf over the last year, but he admits the novelty of playing at home is wearing off, although he was enjoying the chance to try out the new green.
It's great to be back out here playing one of my home courses, and staying at home is always really cool. I haven't played a 4-round tournament for over a year now, so it's great that these guys have put a tournament on for us, and it's really awesome to see the support for Kiwi pros, and it's just great to be out competing again.
But triumphing over the 2 days was Tauranga pro Josh Geary. He secured a second-round score of 8 under par 63, a course record, to finish at 10 under for the tournament. Gary's only just returned to competitive golf following a long break. Now in his 15th season as a professional, he was stoked to win the trophy and has his eyes set on what's next.
Got the Murawai Open in a couple of weeks' time up in Auckland, and then it looks like I'll probably head overseas in the middle of May, maybe a little bit later. I sort of haven't decided on a departure date yet, but yeah, I would say middle of May, maybe the end of May, I'll get back over there.
There was just one female in the elite field, with Momoka Kabori the surprise overnight leader after Saturday's opening round. Ryan Fox won the Pro-Am title with amateur partner Murray Guthrie, with all players just happy to test drive the new course in perfect conditions. In Arrowtown, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. Boggy, uneven ground is making for challenging conditions for firefighters battling a 1,000-hectare blaze in wetlands near Bluff. Vaccine passes and scanning in are no longer required from tomorrow, but the government says it's too soon to relax COVID-19 traffic light settings. And the Southern District Health Board doesn't believe the region has yet hit peak COVID, with expectations of numbers to rise again this week in the south. And now time for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by MoleMap.
Looking at the situation, a trough of low pressure is approaching the region from the Tasman Sea and will bring a warm day of increasing northwesterly airflow tomorrow, followed by a much colder day of southwesterly airflow on Wednesday. Heading to the top of the South Island, and it'll be cloudy in Nelson with periods of rain later in the day, a high of 21 degrees. Greymouth can expect heavy rain and possible thunderstorms, 20 degrees. And it'll be mostly cloudy in Christchurch with possible rain in the afternoon, a high of 24. Looking what's in store for the southern towns, Catlins, Balclutha, Lumsden and Gore are all in for freshening nor'westerlies with late rain and a high of 18 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes area, Wanaka, Queenstown, Alexandra can all expect freshening nor'westerlies with cloudy skies and a high of 19 degrees. Tauranga is in for rain with freshening northwesterlies and a high of 16 degrees. Looking at the northern towns along the coast, Timaru and Oamaru can expect fresh northerlies, high cloud and highs of 23 or 24 degrees. It'll be cooler inland for Twizel and Omarama with moderate northwesterlies and increasing cloud and a high of 20 degrees. In Dunedin it'll be cloudy tonight with northeasterlies and an overnight low of 13 degrees. There'll be some low cloud at first tomorrow, followed by thick high cloud for the rest of the day. It'll be warm with moderate northerly winds, but look out for rain developing tomorrow night. A high of 22 and a low of 13 degrees. It'll be mostly cloudy with showers on Wednesday with strong cold southwest winds. Showers set to clear on Wednesday night. A high of 14, a low of 8 degrees. And in Invercargill it'll be cloudy tonight with moderate northerly winds and overnight low of 14. Cloudy tomorrow with a few light showers in the afternoon, then periods of rain developing from the evening. Look out for a change to colder southwesterlies tomorrow night, a high of 19 and a low of 13. It'll be cloudy and cold with showers on Wednesday, which will start clearing late in the day. Expect fresh to strong gusty southwesterlies, a high of 13 and a low of 7 degrees. And that's the news this Monday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz. And you can follow Channel 39 on Facebook, on YouTube, to catch our news bulletins on demand. Hei rō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.